Hello, I'm Heather Patterson. Today the crime rate in Scotland has risen to almost 1 million crimes a year, with 43% of crimes being committed by children under 16. Here's what Bob Graham, the Scottish Christian Party spokesman on law and order, told us earlier.
Parents are responsible for the behaviour and discipline of their children. We will introduce parental compensation to the victims of crimes committed by their children. Drugs, a major source of crime in our Scottish society. We will not only punish the suppliers of drugs, but we will have zero tolerance for those who have drugs in their possession.
Schools in Scotland are facing a crisis with 252% increase in attacks on teachers by their pupils, and exclusions from schools are running at a rate of 200 pupils per day. Scots are now opting for treatment abroad rather than risk catching deadly diseases in Scottish hospitals. New cases of MRSA have risen to a record 946 in a single year, with 7.6% of those cases resulting in death. Dr. Sheila McLaughlin spoke to us earlier.
Well, currently MRSA is responsible for 2,000 deaths in Scotland per year, and it costs the country £186 million a year, but nationwide it costs £1 billion. If we would take the ones that have the infection, isolate them, and the others we would treat and protect, in 5 years we could be totally free. Now this will cost thousands to implement. We have to find the answer and be willing to open our pocketbook.
According to research, teenagers who have an abortion are up to 800% more likely to develop breast cancer in later life, with abortions among under 16s reaching record levels. This spells a cancer crisis for Scotland in the coming decades. Dr. Murdo Murchison, former Chief Administrative Medical Officer and Director of Public Health for Grampian Health Board.
Society is building up problems for the future. Breast cancer is one thing, and I'm sure that's a long-term problem. But there are other problems, much more immediate. There's the immediate psychological problem for the woman concerned, and there's possible fertility problems. And these are all areas of considerable concern. We're living in a population that apparently is decreasing, and the abortion rate must be a significant factor in all of that.
On May the 3rd, Scotland goes to the polls, but a new website reveals that more than 500,000 voters are likely to waste their vote through lack of understanding of the voting system. Here is Reverend George Hargreaves, leader of the Scottish Christian Party, to explain how the voting system works.
The voting system works in favour of the Scottish Christian Party because the votes for the bigger parties on the regional list are a wasted vote. I commend to you wastedvote.info as a website that will explain this. You need to just simply put your cross by the cross, and that will give us the sufficient votes, just 7%. That's 7 out of 100. 93 other people can say no, but so long as we get 7 that say yes, we get a seat all over Scotland. So you've got to remember, you're cross by the cross, and you know what? You don't even have to vote for the constituency vote. If your conscience doesn't allow you, just put your cross by the cross and vote for the Scottish Christian Party. In 1933, Adolf Hitler passed a law saying that kosher food should be banned. Within 10 years, he was murdering millions of Jews. Next week, on the 30th of April, regulations come in that affect Christians. The sexual orientation regulations come into force. We must stop this. Go out and vote for the Scottish Christian Party on May the 3rd. It is the only way to stop the sexual orientation regulations becoming law, which is the first stage of persecution of Christians in this land. Put your cross by the cross.